This video is the ultimate and most up-to-date guide on everything you need to know before buying or renting one of the most beautiful towns of the Spanish Costa Blanca, Javea. Javea is located just about an hour from Alicante and a little more from Valencia, and it's a place that has become one of the most desirable towns to live in along the Spanish coast. Javea feels very authentic Spanish, even though it has a large foreign community with about 50% of its inhabitants being non-Spanish. Especially over the last decade, more and more people from Northern Europe, North America and beyond have discovered this town and chosen to make it either their permanent base or their home away from home. So if you're considering the same, then keep on watching this video till the end. We're going to cover everything from climate and lifestyle to family life and schools, healthcare, the current property market, cost of living and much more. So let's start with one of the main reasons why people move to Javea, the climate and the lifestyle. Javea enjoys one of the best climates in the world, and the World Health Organization has ranked it amongst the healthiest places to live, with over 300 days of sunshine a year, mild winters and summers that are warm but made comfortable by the sea breeze. Life here follows a Mediterranean rhythm. Shops close in the afternoon, meals are eaten later, and daily life slows down. And food plays a huge role in this lifestyle, from fresh seafood sold at the port to locally grown fruit and vegetables, to family-run and recently more high-end restaurants as well. Eating out can be both affordable and an experience. And then of course the coastline. Javea has some of the most beautiful bays in Spain. Places like Cala Granadella and Cala Portichol appear in travel magazines year after year. Life here is also about tradition. Festivals like San Juan in June, when people jump over bonfires, or Moros and Cristianos in the port, when the town comes alive with costumes, parades and music. And what really helps Javea give its authentic feel are local building regulations. These days, plots generally need to be at least 1,000 square meters to be built on, and the build size of a house can only be maximum 20% of the plot size. Apartment blocks can only be 4 stories tall, and all this makes the town feel less crowded compared to other coastal areas, and it's also why there's so much nature around. Now, the first question people ask when they're thinking about moving to Javea is, what does property actually cost here? And what does the current property market look like? Let's dive in. At the time of recording, the average asking price in Javea is around 3,621 euros per square meter. In the port, prices are a little higher. They are over 4,469 euros per square meter. Around the Arenal beach and the Montañar, they average close to 3,861 euros per square meter, and in Mar it's similar. And the Old Town, you will find better value. Prices over there are around 2,692 euros per square meter. For rentals, the average works out just under 14 euros per square meter per month. That means that a typical 80 square meter apartment rents for about 1,100 euros per month on a long-term contract. For investors, that's roughly a 4.5% gross yield before cost. And during the summer months, you can expect to roughly get this amount of money per week instead of per month. Apartments near the port or the Arenal rent very quickly. Larger hillside villas, unless they've been modernized, can take longer to sell. New builds are rare and always carry a premium, and many villas built in the 1980s and 1990s need upgrades. But that doesn't put buyers off. In fact, the biggest bunch of demand is for properties of that age in the 500 to 700,000 euros price range. As many people actively look for a property they can make their own. And this property is the perfect example. We found it a couple of years ago for a client of ours that was initially interested in buying a new build home, but couldn't seem to find one that ticked all of his boxes. When we came across this property, we saw the potential it had. The client saw it as well, and the rest is history. We were involved in the entire process, from purchasing the home to the designing process with the architects and finally the execution, and that made it what it is today. So if that's something you're thinking about doing as well, definitely get in touch because we can help you with that. The house itself, it just looks beautiful. The bones were always perfect. It just needed a creative mindset and of course a lot of love. And this is what happened. And just look at these views. They're amazing and they're simply unbeatable. So the key takeaway is this: don't just look at the square meter price, but think about how well it will rent out and might resell in the future. And of course, whether it fits your personal lifestyle and goals. Many people think that Javea is just a small coastal town. Now, the old town is relatively small, but everything around is actually very spread out, and it can take you up to 30 minutes by car to drive from one side to Javea all the way to the other. Now, that's because there's a lot of different areas, or urbanisations, as we call them here, so let's dive into some of their specific characteristics. The Arenal and Montgó are centered around the sandy beach and promenade. This is where you will find a livelier atmosphere, with bars, restaurants, and apartments. It's ideal if you want to step outside your door and have cafes within walking distance. But keep in mind, it's busiest in summer and many neighbors will be holiday visitors rather than year-round residents. The port is different. It's a working marina with its own community. It feels more authentic, with shops, schools, and services open all year. If you want to feel part of a stable community, even in winter, the port is a strong choice. The Old Town is the historic heart of Javea. Narrow streets, traditional architecture, and real Spanish life. It's also where you will usually find the best value for money. If you want to be integrated in local life, this is where you will find it. La Corona, Castellans, and Cabo San Antonio sit elevated above the port with panoramic views. These are high-end residential areas, very desirable but less walkable. You will need a car for daily life, but the views are unbeatable. The Montgó and Montgó Vales offer spacious villas on large, mostly flat plots. Many are south-facing, which means they get sunshine throughout the day and throughout the entire year. These areas are very popular with families and year-round residents because you have more space, good schools nearby, and a quieter environment. Tossalet, Cap Martí, and Costa Nova are established villa areas. They used to be some of the most prestigious addresses for Spanish families. Today, they have a mix of second homes and permanent residents. Balconamar, Ambolo, and Granadella are perched above the sea. Here you get dramatic views and proximity to the famous calas. But you will need a car for everything, and many of your neighbors will be seasonal. It's perfect for a holiday retreat, but it can be less practical for year-round living, depending on what you're looking for. Rafalet, Taraula, and El Piver are newer developments. You will find modern villas and more of a suburban feel. They're good for families who want a newer build with year-round neighbors. Las Laderas, Cancelades, and Vils de Vent are areas with similar characteristics. Tesoro Park, La Mandarina, La Yuca, El Rafalet, and Covateas are close to the golf course. These areas are very residential and many families live here year-round because it's less busy during the summer months. And finally, La Plana. This is up by the lighthouse, surrounded by a natural park. Very few houses, very rural, and ideal if you want privacy. So this is the thing, a lot of people ask me, Romy, what are the good and bad areas in Javea? And as you were just able to see, there's no such a thing as good or bad areas around here. It all just depends on your personal goals and of course your lifestyle. So there's a few things you should ask yourself. First of all, orientation. Is it important to me that I got sun all year round? Also, is it important to me that I've got people full-time living around me? And third of all, where do I want to be close to? Would you like to be close to a specific school, to the beach, restaurants, etc.? Once you got those three things right, you'll make sure that you can enjoy your home a lot more. We hope you're enjoying this video. We've put a lot of effort in creating this content, and if you're looking to buy or sell a property here in Javea, we will put as much effort and passion in just that. So if that's your situation, get in touch with us today. Let's get back to the video. Another thing that people consider when they move to Spain or to Javea is of course the cost of living. Now let's start talking about housing costs, and it really depends on the type of home that you own or that you're renting. So what we decided is we take a house, a standard Javea villa. It is 220 square meters, has 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. We are here right now. Let's have a look at what the annual running costs are. For this house, the EB or the council tax is 950 euros per year. Electricity is 2,100 euros per year. A thing to take into consideration is that this house doesn't have gas central heating, so the heating is being done by air conditioning units. So of course you got a higher electricity bill. Next, we got water. It's 970 euros per year. The gardener is about 1,200 euros per year. Internet, 480 euros. And last but not least, the home insurance is 550 euros per year. Now, of course, housing costs, that's not the only cost you would have when you're living in Javea. So let's have a look at the rest. Fuel in Spain is about €1.66 per litre. The UK is almost identical at €1.68. The Netherlands, however, is higher at €2.01 per litre. And the US, of course, is much cheaper at about 95 cents per litre. Car insurance is also more affordable. A basic third-party policy is between €150 to €300 per year. Comprehensive cover usually starts around €400 per year, and across Spain the average is about €428 per year. Now that's far lower than in the US, where many drivers pay over $2,000 annually, or in the Netherlands, where premiums can easily top €1,000. On top of that, there is the yearly road tax, usually around €60 to €150 depending on the car, and the ITV inspections, Spain's version of the MOT or APK. So when you add it all up, life here day to day is cheaper than in most of Northern Europe and North America. The biggest factor in your budget will always be housing, but everything else from fuel to insurances to groceries is more affordable. For many people moving to Javea, travel is very important as well because they would like to experience the rest of Spain and the rest of Europe. So an important question is, how well connected is Javea? By car, it's just over 1 hour to Alicante Airport and about 1 hour and 30 minutes to Valencia Airport. Both airports have daily flights across all of Europe, and there is a bus service as well. It's called Alsa and it brings you to both cities within more or less 2 hours. From either city, you can take the high-speed train, which is called AVE, to Madrid, which takes you less than 2 hours. There's also the AP7 motorway, which runs along the coast, connecting Javea north and south. The section around Alicante is currently toll-free. And from Denia, a city at only 20 minutes away from Javea, ferries run to the Balearic Islands. It's about 2 hours to Ibiza and 4 hours to Mallorca. So while Javea is a small coastal town, you're never far away from the rest of Spain or even from the rest of Europe. The next topic is very important as well, and that's healthcare. I mean, everybody who moves to this area thinks about that as one of the first things as well, of course. And what is really good news is that the Spanish healthcare system is consistently ranked as one of the best in all of Europe. And I thought, what better way to find out more about this topic than to talk to one of the local doctors here. So we are at San Carlos, a private hospital in the area, to talk to Henk. He is the local doctor, so let's go and talk to him. Hi Henk.
Hello, hi.
How are you doing?
Fine, how are you?
Good. So, can you tell us something about the healthcare system in Spain? How does it work exactly?
We actually have like a dual system. We have private healthcare and we have the public healthcare. Public healthcare is the biggest. It's all over Spain. It's widespread. It's like in the NHS in the UK. The national health system here works very well. However, we have problems with the shortage of doctors, shortage of nurses, like you also have in the UK and all over Europe. So a lot of people take out private healthcare as well to complement that. So we have private hospitals that, like this one where we're standing in front right now where I work, and there are many others in the region that offer excellent level of care. However, you need to take both into consideration because a lot of conditions will only be treated in national health. Other conditions are faster and more efficient in the private healthcare. So it would be good if you could use both bases. The quality of care is excellent. There's next to none in Spain, for example. The how would I call it? The healthcare for acute cardiac, acute brain infarct is at the same level as any other hospital in Europe. All the oncology treatments are all up to scratch. It's like worldwide standard. So you will get a good level of care here. But I would advise you, if you come to live here, get both options: private healthcare and access to the public.
Right, okay, so if you set it all up right, I mean, your health will be in good hands, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm sure it will be.
Well, thank you so much for the explanation.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to explain it.
So the next topic is schooling, and if you're moving to Javea with children, that's probably on the top of your list. The good news is that Javea has a lot of different options, public as well as private. Let's dive in. The Spanish public school system begins with infantil for the ages 3 to 6 years old, which is optional but common. Then you got primaria, that's the primary school, and that's for the ages 6 to 12 years old. And after that, children go to ESO. This is high school and it's for children aged 12 to 16 and it's compulsory. And finally, we got bachillerato or FFP, which covers ages 16 to 18, leading to either university or vocational training. Public schools in Javea are bilingual, taught in Spanish and Valencian, with English in some cases added as a third language. Enrollment depends on your address, so the area you live in matters. Here we are at XIC, that's one of the international private schools in Javea, and we are going to talk to Headmaster Richard, and he's going to tell us everything we need to know about private schools in the area. Let's go. Hi, Richard.
Hi, Romy.
Hey.
Nice to see you again. Welcome to XIC.
We're back. It looks amazing.
You see it now finished because you saw it before we even started building.
I know, yeah. A lot has changed, but it looks
I'll take you round so you can see it.
Sounds good. Yeah, so we're of course talking about schooling right now.
Yep.
You're the headmaster right here at XIC,
Yes.
so you know everything, especially about private schooling right here in the area.
schooling, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, it's been a few years, absolutely. Well, it's actually a privilege to work with the families that come to the Costa Blanca. They've come to a beautiful place to live, but the most important thing for them so that they sleep well at night, the parents, is that their children are happy in school. And I think that's really fundamental because people are traveling internationally, they have to settle, and that's something that international schools have to get absolutely right. So the plan is to try and get the children into school and have them happy. If they're happy, they settle quickly, they make friends, and those connections are really there for a lifetime. But international schooling, the strengths of it is, and I've seen it as a parent because I've had 3 children go through the process, it's an opportunity for young people to meet other people from different nationalities, learn together in a very productive and creative environment. The ethos of the school, as I say, is built on those foundations where you have staff who are very, very experienced in teaching young people who don't have English as a first language, for example.
Yeah.
So they come into a school such as this, where they may be Dutch, German, Belgian, French, Spanish, of course, and these teachers here are able to nurture them in the English language, so that they become very, very strong communicators in English, and they're able to access the curriculum to the very highest and be able to do external examinations when they get much older.
So it's definitely a good option as well for people moving to this area that want to continue the same curriculum they were having, or just, have a more international approach. Well, thank you so much, Richard.
You're very, very welcome.
And see you again.
Yeah, without doubt. You're always welcome here, Romy.
Thank you. So we're on our way to the Javea Town Hall, and while we're driving there, I thought it would be a good idea to talk about a topic that's very important to many people as well, which is safety. Spain is one of the safest countries in all of Europe. Javea is very safe as well. You won't see any very serious crime, but you do have, of course, the things such as petty theft. So what we always say is you just need to use common sense. And if you own a home here, especially if it's a second home, we always recommend to use an alarm system just for that extra little bit of protection. Now, settling in isn't just about finding the right home. There are other important things to take into consideration as well, such as paperwork and becoming part of the community. And to get to know more about these topics, we're going to talk to Raquel Violero from the Javea Town Hall. Hi, Raquel.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm fine. You?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you so much for joining.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, and of course, Javea, it's a town with a lot of different nationalities, that live here. And the town hall of Javea, I think it does offer quite some resources for people that move here, just to help them getting integrated and with the paperwork a little bit. Can you tell me something about it?
Well, we are very proud to be like a diverse town, and we have different nationalities, quite a lot of them. I think we are the place like in Spain with the most nationalities. In fact, I think that's true. So yes, we do have a lot of people that live in different areas. So there are like neighborhoods that are especially like with people based from a special nationality, and so they can help you communicate with the town hall, the different resources that don't speak English or other languages.
Different urbanization.
Yes,
got the administration.
Yes, things like that, and also a lot of businesses that are run by people that speak other languages as well, maybe Spanish or from other places. But from the town hall, like official resources, we have a place called Help Desk, which is like in the Portal del Clot, in the Citizen Attention Office, just around here. And so Elena, who is there, she speaks different languages, English, German, and many other. She's great. And she will help you get settled and explain you like all the different because it's not just that you have things that are not in your native language, but the laws are different. So you need to understand that, and she will help you with all that. But you have to keep in mind that in Spain, and especially here in the Valencian community, the official language for documents is either Spanish or Valencian. So if you want to really integrate and not have an interpreter with you all the time, you need to learn Spanish and Valenciano. Yes. But for that, we have an intensive course that comes from the town hall. It takes place in September and the registration starts in June, I think. But that's very short. So you have like the official language school or the EPA, which is the adult school with courses, and also private academic, private places. And also you have like the U3A, which is like a school, especially for the elderly that are foreign. So you might learn not just Spanish, but also culture and things like that.
Okay.
So just, if you come here, just keep your eyes open and your ears and just,
Yeah. I mean, I think that's really good because so many people, for sure, they're moving here. And especially when it comes to paperwork and, of course, a different language, it's like, where do you start? So I think this is really useful information. I think you told me before that there's something that you can find on the website, right?
Oh, yes.
Town hall.
So we know we have a lot of foreigners here, and that's why I think 2 years, we've been starting like posting in social media in English as well, and the official web pages and things like that are in English as well. So you're not going to have a problem.
No, just to help people get started.
And if not, you just go to Elena at the help desk and she will solve everything for you.
That's really great. Well, thank you so much for the information, and I should see you next time.
Yes.
Last but not least, let's start talking about the buying and the renting process itself. When we talk about rentals, there's two types of rentals you can choose out of. First of all, winter lets from the month of September all the way up to the beginning of June. And we got the actual long-term rental, which is for more than 12 months. For both type of rentals, you need to pay 1 or 2 months of security deposit, and a full financial background check will be done. So now the buying process. When you've decided that you want to move to Javea, you need to start looking for a property. We are able to show you almost all properties available on the market. And when you found a property you want to buy, you're going to reserve it once you agreed on a price. And that goes together with a reservation contract and a payment of 5,000 euros, for which the seller then has to take the property off the market. After about 3 weeks, when all the necessary checks have been done by your lawyer, you're signing an arras contract, which goes together with 10% of the purchase price. And from that moment, it usually takes about 1 to 2 months to actually go to the notary for the completion. What's also very important is to hire an independent lawyer or a gestor, what it's called around here, because they will do all the necessary checks on the property you're looking to buy. And besides that, they arrange a lot of other things, all administrative things that you need to do when you're moving to Spain. On top of the purchase price, you will pay 10% property transfer tax, and it's also important to budget for an extra 2 to 3% for additional costs, such as notary costs and lawyer costs. Moving to another country, or even just buying a house in another country, it's a tough process. There's a different language, different customs, different types of paperwork, and a different lifestyle. So I can imagine that even after watching this video, you still have a lot of questions. And if that's the case, definitely don't hesitate to get in touch with us via the contact details down below in the description. This is what we do, this is what we love doing, and we can help you with any question you have and set you up with all sorts of experts around here that can guide you through this process. Now, if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, this is the time. Do it right now, because you want to stay up to date with our latest videos.